Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another daily dice where we ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I am truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you, and anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And if you are truly new here, we do things completely differently around here, so I suggest strapping in, hanging on, and we'll find out together. And if the messages happen to resonate along the way, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Now, I had a channel message come in. It was kind of crazy. It kept seeing king and queen, king and queen, king and queen, and then I saw a queen and a knight. I shuffled the deck. I can't tell you how many times, right? But it was coming in, and I put the deck down and I asked Source, what does this mean? And the message that came through is, can this king and queen survive, or will the knight take over? And I was like, oh, okay. And it's funny because I don't even have any love cards out today, but this was the message that Source was like, nope, this is what we're talking about. So we're going to grab the Earth Magic cards that I have, and we're going to get a message from this one, an oracle out. So Source, can this king and queen survive, or will the knight take over? What Earth Magic oracle card will help us better understand this message that you have coming in? Can this king and queen survive, or will this knight take over? Yeah, it was a really strong message. So what oracle card will help us better understand this message that you would like to give to us today? Okay, ebb and flow with the ocean coming out. And then on the bottom, we've got, dawn, a new beginning. This is interesting. I feel like this wants to stay out, and I can't make it up. We have love underneath that, but this is a self-love card, right? It's not really about romantic love, but I do feel like it is synchronistic for it to come out in regards to this channel message that we were getting. So let's see what comes through here. And I did my dice a little differently today. I picked one from each of the colors. So, Source, will this king and queen survive, or will this knight take over? Will this king and queen survive, or will this knight take over? What would you like to share with us in regards to this message, Source? Okay, so we've got the 10th house. We've got Capricorn energy, and we've got Mercury. Okay, so I do feel like maybe the knight here is someone that either you work with, or maybe your partner works with, or that the person that you want to be with works with. Okay? There's definitely work involved here. And I feel like the thing is here is there's definitely an authoritative male figure that's coming through here. And this has been a block for either you or for this other person, is actually embodying that very deep masculine energy and taking action where necessary, and take it as it comes. Like, if that's not you, then it means it's this other person. Okay? But I also feel like there's someone here who sees you as a catch, and they might not be on your level, but they feel like you are such a catch, and they want to communicate to you in a very masculine way, right? So this could be a divine masculine, it could be a divine feminine, but taking action is a very masculine energy, and they want to come through and they want to communicate to you exactly how they feel about you. They do not want to hide behind facades. They don't want to play games. This is someone who very much is very interested in building something solid with you and working together to build something great in life. Even if you are married, they just see you as their perfect partner. And I know that can be really hard for some people, right? Like, I'm married, I'm already in this relationship, and ultimately at the end of the day, it will always be up to you to choose what's best for you, right? I'm not advocating, yes, go for this person. I'm also not advocating, no, don't go for this person. What I am saying is, at the end of the day, you choose what your intuition is telling you to do. And that's how it should always be when you check out any tarot reading. Should always be what you're intuitively guided to do for yourself that feels most in alignment. And what we see here is that there is a very bold communication that's coming in. No bars hold. This person is going to spill their heart out to you. They're going to say, look, this is how I feel. I do feel like this message really resonates with someone who either feels like they have a divine masculine, but this is not the divine masculine, or this is someone who's younger than you that's coming in, or you could be much younger than them. Okay, so we kind of got a few things all over the board here. This is someone who does see that there's a potential to really work with things and build together something that is sustainable over time and something that will make an impact. So, wow, right off the bat. All right, Source. Will this Queen and King make it, or will the Knight take over? What do you want to tell us? Okay. Interesting. I don't usually do 3 cards for the pick a cards, I'm sorry, I do for the picker cards, but not for the daily dice, but since they both came out. Yeah, there's definitely an illusion here. So someone is not offering exactly what you need. Okay, someone is not here giving you what you deserve. There's someone here who either ghosted you that's a divine masculine, or there's someone here who's breadcrumbing you. There's someone here who has very little to offer, and it's not much. And yet, I do feel like there's been holding on for this little bit. Oh my gosh, I'm going to hold on so much for this little bit. Right? Because there's a lot of feelings and emotions there. And anytime you're emotionally attached to something, like, it's hard to let go. It is, and that's okay. That's part of what being human is. It's feeling into those emotions, but it's also realizing that with Mercury here, we do have a logical sense about us that we can actually observe the situation before us and deduct, is this healthy for us or is this not? So you're very much in this Queen of Cups energy where you're very compassionate, very loving. Yeah, we have the Hangman in the reverse here. Interesting. Heavy Piscean energy here. Okay, we also have Cancer energy and Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus energy coming out. This is very much in the misguided. I'm seeing an illusion, or I'm digging into something and wanting to see something that's not existing. Okay? And that's why with the Hangman and the Nine of Cups in the reverse, we're seeing that an illusion is literally changing the way you see life, and it's allowing you to go from this illusion and hope and pray. So the thing is I'm not here to preach on twin flames or anything like that, but what I will touch on is that there is a very toxic community surrounding twin flames where it's like, no matter what, no matter how this person treats you, no matter what this person says to you, no matter how long this person makes you wait, you have to wait and you have to do the work. And that's a very toxic way to come about it, right? Again, I'm not here to be like, you're wrong or whatever. I'm just saying that is a very toxic mindset, because that was never Source's intention when people came here as twin flames. They're enlightened beings that have lived many lives and have gained a lot of wisdom, and not everybody is a twin flame, and that's okay. Twin flames are not special, right? They're one in the few, but they're not special. It's because the journey is so difficult. And it takes a very strong, hardened soul, someone who has experienced many, many lifetimes, in order to understand that, okay, it's not about the connection, it's about the spiritual side of things. And so I'm just going to say that here, okay? Now, for others of you, you're not on the twin flame journey, and that's okay. That's still a beautiful thing. We still need you. You make up a huge portion of this life, and you bring such a great wisdom with you as well. So please just know I'm not saying that twin flames are better or they're worse. What I'm saying is that they're just different paths, and that's okay. Right? And so with this, for those of you that aren't, but might have a spouse or a lover who is not treating you well, we're seeing here this very convincing voice that's coming from inside that's saying, you owe this person your loyalty, or you owe this person your time, or you owe this person. But does this person also feel that way about you? You've given them your loyalty, so doesn't that mean that they also should owe you their loyalty? Does that mean that you've given them your time, so they should also give you their time? You're not breadcrumbing them, so doesn't that mean that they shouldn't be breadcrumbing you. Now, we cannot control those things. It's not like we could wave our magic wand and say, okay, you're going to be the partner I've always dreamt you could be. The perfect partner doesn't exist, but there is one that is in alignment with us and where we're going. And so I do feel like there is somebody here who sees your value and sees a potential relationship with you, something that could grow, and they recognize that they're not on your level, but that they're willing to step up into that level with you, okay? And they know that it could take some time, but they're also very attracted to you, and they're very, very keen on telling you that. But we also have, there's a resistance here because there's either a belief that you're waiting for someone else, you've told them you're waiting for someone else, or it's because you have a partnership here, and so there's a resistance for them coming forward to say something because they're recognizing like, whoa, this person might be promised to someone else, and I don't want to step on any toes, but I'm still incredibly attracted to this person. I feel like we're very much in alignment. We're both headed in the same direction. So take it as it resonates, and you can place the archetypes where they are, whether you're the queen, the king, the knight. You place those archetypes where they fit best for your story, okay? Because everybody's going to be at a different place on their story. Square. Yeah, this is a very challenging situation. A mountain to climb. There's a lot going on here, right? There's a lot going on, and this is something that's not going to be like an overnight situation or an overnight decision. And this communication isn't going to come in an hour, okay? It's not going to come in 3 days. It's not going to come in next week. It will come in when it's meant to come in, okay? And that's not something that I can say for sure when it is. First of all, because this is a general reading. And secondly, because it's always dependent on the energy that one resides in. So if you're open and ready to receive that energy, it will come to you. But that's not just saying I'm open and ready to receive it. That means that you have to literally be in that energetic vibration, which is different from saying it, right? It's actually embodying it. And so that's a very different thing here. But this is a very challenging situation. I feel like it's challenging because I do feel like you personally are holding on tightly to something that may not be what you thought it was going to be, that may not be in alignment with you, or that is causing a lot of strife and pain in your life as well. We have Leo energy coming out here, self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. Okay, so Source confirming just how loyal of a person you really are. And let me just tell you, if you're this loyal, which we already got confirmation on it, right? You deserve to have somebody that's going to reciprocate that loyalty, right? You don't deserve to give that loyalty to someone who's just going to toss it around like last week's garbage, because it's not. That's a very precious gift that someone can give. That's saying, I'm loyal to you and I trust you, and I trust you that you're going to show up for me and be loyal to me and trust me. Right? And if someone's not doing that, then it's like being spit in the face, basically, or being slapped. Because it's saying like, oh, it doesn't matter that much when it's something that's very valuable and precious to you. It does matter, and it absolutely should matter. But sometimes we have to be the ones that make the decision to say, okay, is this mattering to this person that I'm giving it to? And if not, asking why. Wow, I can't make this up. Honesty just flew out of this deck. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Being radically honest with yourself about this situation, about what's happening in this situation, right? Because if you're not honest with yourself, the illusions and the potential, right? The potential that you see in your emotional ego will always win. That is not the truth of the situation. Sometimes it's very hard for us to take a step back and actually observe the truth of this situation because we're so caught up in the fantasy of the potential. And being radically honest with yourself right now is going to help you take that next step and potentially allow someone in who is on your vibrational frequency match and alignment. Maybe not at your level just yet, but who's willing to do the work to get there. And that means something too. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Yeah, your self-esteem is definitely taking a hit with Leo coming out too, there's been a big hit to your self-esteem here with this person. Maybe this person ghosted you and they haven't come back. And maybe it's like, I'm waiting on this person who just totally stopped talking to me. And, you know, I know that they're going to come back. I know that they're going to come back. But now years have passed and you're like, oh my gosh, this person isn't coming back. And that makes you feel like you're inadequate. That makes you feel like you're not enough. But what if, hear me out, what if it's because they don't feel like they're enough and it has nothing to do with you? I cannot make this up. I felt the biggest sigh of relief come in. Just someone just, I needed to hear that. Because it's not you. It's them. Right? We have dove spirit flying out. Be peace. Yeah, time to let go and make peace with the situation as what it is. As per feels right for you. Look at this. We have frog spirit on the bottom. Clear out the clutter. It's okay to hold on to the sentimental, but when the sentimental becomes our whole reason for living, we're missing the point. Right? The sentimental is like replaying a memory over and over again, but if all we're doing is living in those past memories and not making new memories, what are we doing? We're staying stagnant. We're saying that we can never have a better time or a better experience than what we had before. We're basically telling Source, like, forward motion in life is not as good as our backwards motion. Can you imagine riding a bicycle in life backwards your whole life? You learn how to ride it backwards first, and that's what you do. You're never facing backwards. You're always facing forwards, but just moving backwards. You know, potential of crashing is pretty high, right? So just imagine. So instead of riding your bicycle backwards, be brave and start moving forward. And that takes courage. Beauty with Swan. Yes, you are blinded to your brilliantness. Like, your brilliance is so incredible, and you don't see it right now because of this challenging situation, because of this thing that you experience or are experiencing right now with the person, right? Whether that's the king or whether that's the knight. And both sides can be very much in this position, right? But I do feel like there is someone who's trying to come in and be like, hey, look, I got you. And I want to grow with you, but we need to, you know, like, I can't just be coming in and stepping on everybody else's turf, because this person's very respectful. They want you to see how beautiful you are. And I feel like the thing is they recognize that you're having a hard time seeing your own worth and your own beauty because of being stuck in a past situation. All right. We have determination on the bottom of the deck. It's going to be a mountain to climb, right? With the square. This is going to be a mountain to climb, but you are determined and you have incredible resolve. You're going to get through this. And ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, even if you choose not to go with either one of these people, that's still your choice, right? But you have to do what's best for you. And if I need to say that 100 more times, I will. You need to do what's best for you. Not what everybody told you you had to do because this person holds some label in your life. Not because everybody expects something of you. Not because everybody is going to say something about what you did because you couldn't stick it out. You know what? If you can't stick it out because it's a toxic situation, you did yourself a service. No matter what role this person plays in your life. At the end of the day, if you don't love you, how could you ever ask anybody else to love you? It's impossible. Reciprocity, exactly. We've been talking about this whole time. There's somebody here who wants to give you equal give and take, but there's this whole, like, I'm holding out because there's a fear that they're going to step on toes somewhere here. Stop. Wow. You're the one that makes the decision here. You know, and I feel like these are very telling. I'm not going to read these from the book today, but ebb and flow, it's like going with the ocean tides, right? Sometimes it's high tide, sometimes it's low tide. It's just an ebb and flow of life. Sometimes things are really good and sometimes things are really challenging. Right now is a challenging time for you, but you know what? The tides will change because it's always darkest before dawn. And then the sun breaks the horizon and the whole world turns into this beautiful orange hue that's magical and mystical, and it seems like we're stuck in a snow globe of sunrise forever until the sun finally starts hanging heavy in the sky. But at first, we had to go through that moment of uncertainty where we just didn't know if it was going to rise again. And that's what this feels like. I don't know if it's going to rise again. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this. So at the end of the day, does it really matter if the night is going to take over, or even if you make things work with this king or queen? No, because what source is telling you is that it's time for you to make a decision that's best for you, instead of waiting or trying to make things work because that's what everyone else says is what you're supposed to do. Ultimately, what you're supposed to do is be completely 100% brutally honest with yourself about every situation that you're in. Okay? So this is what I see here for you. I know this is a very difficult situation. I mean, here's a big, big, big energetic hug. You're not alone. You are so loved and supported and held. Okay? Thank you for letting me do this reading for you today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little ocean wave down below and say, like the tide rises and falls, I too shall rise after I have fallen. And through that rising, I will find myself and be true to myself forevermore. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredibly powerful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.